Hi, my name is Steve Miller and I'll be your professor for gender studies. Now it's important to note this course is asynchronous. So asynchronous really just means we don't have a scheduled time or date in the course of a week and when we schedule to meet. Now you will have some synchronized courses of which you know what day of the week and what time of those days you are meeting with your class. Asynchronous means you don't have a schedule. You can put that in anywhere you want. So I would look at your schedule that you have, find a 3-hour block or 3 hours in your week and say, that's going to be my gender time. So that's what I would really highly recommend. Time management is so important with online delivery. So this is an asynchronous class. Now, for gender studies, this is an interesting course because we're going to be touching base on a number of topics, but looking at the role of gender in our lives as well as in the way that society views gender. We're going to look at gender, some of the research behind it and the theories behind it. We're going to be looking at the 3 components, sort of how they interact and intersect and support one another. Gender, communication, so the communication styles, how women speak and how men speak, more accurately masculine speech groups and feminine speech groups. But we're also going to look at the role of how culture is either influenced by individuals and communication and gender, and how we influence culture by virtue of gender and communication. It's a very interesting course to get a handle on what is gender and how is that different from sex, the biological meaning, that is. I hope you find this course really interesting. What I need to do first, though, is walk you through Blackboard and show you where things will be. And that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, let's get started. Okay, here we are going to do a quick overview of your Blackboard shell for gender studies. And one of the first things you're going to see will be your announcements. Now you notice that the first announcement is a quiz. Please don't panic. It's just a quiz based on this video that you're watching at the moment. So it's closed on the September 24th at 5 p.m. Now I'm going to show you 2 things. Now any announcement that comes with a quiz or a test comes with a link. Now you can either click on this link, and I'm going to do that right now. It'll take me directly to week 1 and the test. It's meant to be a lightweight quiz based on this video plus your syllabus and assignment documents. You would just click begin and one question would pop up. You answer it. If you're sure about it, you click yes, give me another question, and you go take that one, so on and so on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back. I'm going to cancel here. And I'm going to go back to announcements. Okay, now I'm going to show you the other way when we get there. So remember, we've shown you one way, this link and announcements, to get to your quizzes or any other tests that I'll post. Now, you might want to get a hold of me. My name is Steve Miller, as I mentioned, and my email is steve.miller@georgiancollege.ca. Only use your Georgian email to email me. I am not permitted to respond to personal emails from students. Now, what's also important is to follow the protocol that all emails to me must have your name. You must mention which class of mine you're in. I have over 200 students in 4 classes that I teach. If I'm going to answer your question very well, I need to know which class you're in. So your name, which class you're in, and always fill in the subject of your emails. Blank subjects don't get returned responses from me. Please, those 3 things must be in every email. Now, if you prefer to have a WebEx meeting with me, please just email me using the same protocol. And when we come up with a date that we're happy with that we can meet, I'll send you the link to the meeting room for me. And I always open up the meeting room, usually a few minutes, 5 minutes beforehand, and we can have our meeting without any problems. So that should be just fine. Make sure you adhere to the protocol. Now, the only other place that I post things And we'll visit our syllabus and assignment, because this is going to be really important. As I've indicated down here, download and print these documents and add the due dates, the open and close dates, to your calendars. So one of the first things you should be doing is coming over here and clicking on this. There's your syllabus. Now let's have a look at it for a minute. It's asynchronous as a reminder, but one of the things to point out is, one, there's your textbook. It is required. Your textbook's required. We use it as a foundation for the course. If you watch my videos for each week, I reference materials from the textbook. That's what I'm using as my foundation. And I add additional information that you may find better explanations or an alternative explanation that makes more sense. Your textbook you can use for your test taking. So if you use the textbook, highlight it, add some notes, write additional notes on paper and hang on to them. Because on test date, you can sit there with your textbooks and your notes and write the test. If you don't prep your textbook with the content of our course, it's hard to find the information in your textbook. It's particularly hard if you don't have a textbook to finish this course completely. So I really would highly recommend it's required. Now the other thing I want to note is when you watch the syllabus video, there's the weeks that we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I set up my Blackboard shell to match that. Let's have a look. So we're going to come back to looking at that. That's just making the videos, so just walking through your syllabus. That's your assignment, and there's a video that offers you some explanations as well. There's your journals and the document. They're all below. And then we're going to go to the support video resources section as well, and in there I've put an online tips video, and in that, one of the components that I talked about is time management. So this is to help with that. It's a semester planner for gender, and when you open it, it'll make more sense. Well, in fact, there's an image of it right there. Okay, and you can use that to get your courses in together. Now this is your course outline. This may be helpful for you if you plan on continuing your education somewhere else. So whether you are or not, I'd recommend hanging on to them. You never know when your plans might change and you'll need that. And getting them after the fact are more difficult than taking them when they're available. Okay, now I'm going to go back up to weekly learning, and we're going to come down to this support video resources, and here I've put in, this is the online success tips that I was mentioning, and where I've talked about time management, but I also talk about Wi-Fi. It's important to note that I, as a faculty, can't affix your Wi-Fi. However, I have put together some tips on how to improve your Wi-Fi or your internet connection. The last thing you want is to have your internet connection drop while you're taking a test or while you're watching a video or doing some other online work. So it's important that you can strengthen it as best you can. And then the third part in this video was around supports available for you to get you through your academic years. If you haven't been using a phone or a tablet calendar and you're looking to put your dates on your phone or your iPad, this video will help you with how to do that in setting alerts. Now, you are going to do an assignment that requires you to post a PDF, but maybe you don't know how. So any document, whether it's a Word document or a Pages document, can be made into a PDF, and this video walks you through how to do that. And then again, I've posted the semester planner just in case you've missed it in the syllabus and assignments folder. Okay, so let's go to weekly learning, and we'll go. Now, I said that there was an alternative to doing your test, that if you didn't click the link in the announcement, you just come to week 1, because your syllabus says the orientation quiz is in week 1, and there's the link. If I click here, I get back to the very same place I did. Now, one of the things that I'd like to show you is, I'm going to scroll down to where your assignment is due. It's due in week 10, and it needs to be a PDF format. And do not send me your assignments by email, only post them here. It allows me to keep everything in one place, and I know where they are and I can find them. So all journals will be like this. It won't always say an assignment journal. It will say a journal 2, journal 3, journal 4, and journal 5, and in it will be the date in which it closes. Now this journal is open from the day you start class until the 19th at 5 p.m., in which case it disappears. So when you open a journal, now this is just the assignment one, but let's say we're doing a journal 2. What's different is in journal 2 you'll see a video and instructions on what you're supposed to do. Watch the video and reflect. And I gave you some guidance as to what to consider when reflecting. Then what you do is you're going to create a journal. Now in this instance, if it's an assignment journal, we're going to scroll down here for your assignment, browse your computer, find the PDF of your assignment, and post your assignment. That's it. If you're doing journal 2, 3, 4, or 5, you can type right in here your 3 paragraphs that you'd like to add as your contribution to, in this case, journal 2. You put journal 2 up here, the asterisk, this means you have to fill it in. Now some people don't want to type in here. They would prefer to watch the video, think about it, and then type up a Word document or a Pages document. Just make sure that if you do that, save it as a PDF, and then browse your local file and then post it. Only PDFs will be graded, okay? If you've got troubles with how to do that, please watch the video, and then if you still struggle, let me know. Okay, let's move on. Now the only other thing I really need to point out to you, and I'm going to come to the beginning to do that, is that there are no extensions. Those open and close and due dates are in your calendar. They're in Blackboard, so there's really no reason that you can't meet those dates time frames aside of you just didn't go into the journal, into gender studies Blackboard shell. So please try to come in on a regular basis, check to see what needs to be done, check your calendar. By missing something, I don't open them up again. Unfortunately, when everybody tries really hard to get everything done and somebody doesn't, I can't just open it up for them when everybody else was under the same stressors to try to get it done. So there are no extensions except according to the college policy. Please check the academic policies and procedures and responsibilities, or if you have needs of accommodations academically, make sure that you touch base with the disability counselors. When they receive the appropriate documentation, then they send out letters on your behalf to faculty. As soon as I receive it, I will email you saying I've received it, and your accommodations will begin at that moment, as soon as I receive it. Okay? So I hope this has been helpful for you. I look forward to getting through the semester with you. I hope you learned something, and please do the best you can. Work hard, and I hope this works out to be a good semester for you. All right, everybody, keep up the good work and good luck. Bye now.